Okay, hi Rudra. So today we wanted to be holding another Scrum meeting about our project, but also I just wanted to import the important concept about software management that involving the Agile practice in software project development, because a lot of people they are not familiar with real industry, and then they just freshly graduated from computer science major or either undergrad or grad. They may short of those experience and kind of hard to get a job in. They during the interview they may be asked what kind of real experience you have, and it's kind of difficult to share. So why the product manager and this role is very important, and it's just to try to imagine like you're in the orchestra. Your engineers is like having playing different kind of instrument. Someone playing violin, the other is playing woodwinds, the other is playing like a drum. Everyone wants to play their own things. And how do you want to combine them together to be more harmonic? So this is how the product manager is about. So we wanted to collect the information and to be have a clear vision from the clients. Then we wanted to coordinate within the team of those requirements, what techniques we actually need, then develop methods we need, and then we have to talk about those ideas in between the engineers. Hey, Rudra, do you have any ideas of any concepts you wanted to go deep insights about this?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, like right now I'm here to talk about software management. So, we can understand like it's a field that has transformed significantly in the recent years. So we can say that it is more than just like managing processes or achieving deadlines, and it's more about the people part, the collaboration, their vision, like how each and every person thinks and how each and every person will do the deployment part and all the deadlines and how it will impact the company. And we just like how we listen and respond to changes if there is like a certain like instantaneous changes from the clients or any kind of that. There should be like a parallelism between the developers and the software managers and the
Mhm.
clients. So gathering everyone and then forming like a huge team is more like a software management. So I'll be focusing on on these principles, like how it can come alive in the agile practices. So yeah, it is like a
Mhm.
fundamentally social.
Yeah, very good. So what if in the interview sections, if the manager is asking you this, they acknowledge your technology and your background. So you are wanted to holding like to be extraordinary to show like your skills in the whole team. So that I appreciate it. What if someone else also have the extraordinary skills like you, but how would you coordinate with other engineers that we can just combine all those skills, techniques together to work harmonically, not having some conflict? How would you deal with this situation?
So dealing with this situation is very tricky, and at the same time it would be easy. So it is more like a personality kind of thing. So if I have a certain personality of managing other people, then it will and it might work really well in the future. That is one thing which I would like to say, that personality is more important rather than
Mhm,
learning the skill. So it
mhm,
is more like in the person, people to people interaction way rather
mhm.
than learning everything from scratch. This is not like uh, coding 101 thing.
Mm. Yeah, and so more importantly, we want to work as a team. So you have your part that is already being in your job description or your responsibility, and we assign your work through Gila, which is a software management tool. So you're gonna have your sprints and what kind of skills or techniques that you need to solve, and other people would be solve something else. But in collaborative, you might have some collaborate with other engineers if there are any technical issues that you need to solve with other um, engineers, or if you have some issues in involving with a testing group, then you may have to have a good communication with other people rather than having a conflict. So during this process, I think it's a good explanation during the interview that it's a good thing that you can share with product manager. Okay, so today's I think the agenda is we want to talk about agile is the concept is agile is social. The more than software management, the rules I just you do not work on your own. It doesn't matter as you are a product manager, you are a software engineering. You might have your own idea, but the clients, they have their requirements. So we need to have socialize in order to talk. It's more like a marketing, but also to collect the requirements. So the marketing, and it's very important. So I used to work as a sales department. So sales and marketing is also very important. And then the next thing is build confidence. We will be sure that we will be doing a good job before we start this program. Any project we start, and we need to make sure that we are 80% or 90% sure that we don't have too much technical debts and we are familiar with this project. Otherwise, we will not start the project. So that's a basic rule. And Rudra, you want to talk about what vision is about in the management?
Yeah, so vision is more like, it is not like a only very small thing. I would say vision is more like open communication and then transparency, and then also uh, doing all the like frequent changes required by the client priorities and keeping communication open and embracing the flexibility. So I'm not just like rigidity, and I'm not focusing only on one aspect.
Mhm,
I'll be focusing on all the different aspects given to me, and that would be the like I would say the vision. It's
mhm.
not like a single small part, but it's like a huge larger meaning of that.
What about the art of listening? Do you have any idea of this thing
So
and why it is important?
art of listening is more like I would say a personality kind of thing, because if I am given a task and I have like some issues, and I will talk with the manager or any of the of my senior person, then I have to listen and what they are saying to me. Like they already have the more experience than me, so it is more beneficial for me and for the company and for everyone else that I
Mhm,
listen to the what the senior persons and all those things are saying. I cannot just say like, okay, I know this thing and I know this thing and I will be working on this. I will work on my own. It's not like a thing. It's like an individual project. This is like a
mhm.
people and a team project. So we have to do everything with the team. So in team, we have to listen more instead of speaking more, because right now we are all at the lower levels of the development phase and all. If we are like in the topper phase, and that then we have to consider the art of speaking. But right now we have to do the art of listening.
Yeah, that's a good explanation. So the art of listening is very important because as a product manager, we need to listen carefully. What is the requirements and what the real needs from the client? But also I need to listen to my team. So I need to listen to collect the information from my team, from the engineers and what kind of difficulty that we have and which process we are now at. So it is very important about listen. During the interview, so I'm telling some tricks. So you would more likely to develop the let the HR say more, let the manager, hiring manager say more, rather than you speaking so much. Okay. They sometimes have been listening so many people. They might say something. So I would rather say if you have a 30 minutes of interview, they probably want to hear more from you, but you should guide them to speak more rather than you just exposure yourself too much. Because once you expose yourself too much, sometimes it's going to be give you into a very, very bad situation that later on you cannot defeat. Or if you expose yourself so much, they would compare with other candidates, whether if you are good or not. So you want to be make them speak more. So it's, and then you just listen. So it's important of art of listening. And also the practice service orientation is which we during the process of development, especially by the end of the development, we wanted to give them the service and then the orientation we wanted to introduce, hey, this quality ensured, and then we would have good quality, and after the product is being delivered, the value is being delivered, we also have after the maintenance process, and to make sure that they are fully confident about the product. And then the next thing is, yeah, we already talked about we need to like build a good relationship between clients, but also with engineers, because engineers are our team. So we need to treat the engineers like a family. We always wanted to listen what their needs, and then if we have to give that they're doing a good job, then we need to give them a good value. We need to promote them.
Hmm.
And yeah, Rudra has
Our
also
vision.
talked about the vision, that why vision is very important. Okay.
So
Um,
let's see like
mhm.
how the vision part. So like we can understand like a clear vision aligns with the team efforts and provides like purposes. So we have like a huge task we have to do for the entire like a product we have to develop. So what we are trying to do is like we provide and then align the team into making those small efforts, because we are not doing like a huge task at the once. We are we are disintegrating it into smaller tasks, and then we will be doing small tasks each time in a sprint way.
Mhm.
So that is the vision, and then it also motivates and inspires team by like connecting with broader goal, because we ultimately have the goal of developing a product. We do not have like a small task and then it's done. It is not like that, not like an college going assignment.
Yeah.
So that is one thing, and then like communication is also in the vision part, that it telling the compelling stories like uh, that we have. If you have like a certain skill and certain knowledge about a product or any technology, then you would like to share it with the team, then that is also considered in the vision, that I will be listening to what you are saying. Okay, this is more beneficial for the product or more beneficial for the team. So that is one thing. And then like how about this, a united a team like going through education and all those like hard work will make the great project. Because ultimately if the product is more like a difficult task, and if the all the people are just like doing, oh, I will do my own work, I will do my own work, I will not be
Yeah.
focusing on other people, then it doesn't align with the company values and team playing methods. So that
Mhm.
is the vision.
That is correct. So what if this time the client is telling us that whether we need to have built like a care the pets like a cats and dogs. So this time we will uh, so the clients the requirement saying like we need to build this website. So they say the basic function or requirements that we need to collect from the clients must have a login system.
Mhm.
We are so familiar with this because we had built so many projects, including e-commerce. So
Mhm.
you need to have a login system. The login system has to be divided into like a password check, and if it is uh, mm, we need to limit the rates ratio, and then
Mhm.
this is going to be breakdown later on. We will be talking about these techniques,
Mhm.
and then we have to check whether if it is human verification. So we did in Google. So login system must be including like what if you forget the password, and then the password check. So those are already being mm, built sometimes in WordPress, and it's going to be inbuilt. So we do not need to worry so much about that and cybersecurity problem. But the next thing is our customers require that after the login, you need to have a user's profile, have building the user's profile. And then we wanted to make it rather than saying like it's users friendly, we wanted to use build more like oh, better if it is clearly easy for the users to use. That's my purpose. I think for us, they say, hey, they need a like a user's profile. And then for us, I think we want to make it easier for people to use those functionality. It's just a couple of lists, and then they just they upload their picture and including their description of their pets, of their owners, and what kind of people they're looking for, and also the client's review. If they look for those freelancers who are want to work take care of the dog takers or cat giver, and then they would later on have those reviews like Amazon, right? So whether if this person is doing a good job or bad job, but obviously we want to do the other way around. The freelancers can also give a value for like evaluation or the rate for the clients for the dog's owner or pet's owner. It's like a Uber Eats. So you will differently. So we're going to be read for each other.
Mm.
How would you suggest?
So this is more like like I would say we have to decide first, because rather than engaging or like starting any development part, we have to first understand what is the requirements. So once we get the requirements, we focus on the next stage, which is like planning and development. So that is what I would like to share.
So the requirements after we collect it, it's going to be so far already. So it's not going to be much. So this is our basic requirements. So the login system and also the user's profile, those are going to be the basics. So I'm going
Mm.
to be talking more about how you wanted to submit a proposal saying like you already have 5 years of taking care of dogs and pets experience, and that is going to be later on. So right now, we only focus on building the login system. Um, and that's going to be breaking into the smaller parts, including cybersecurity. And the next thing is going to be the user's profile. So we just focus on those two. I'm hoping that you and other engineers can have a clear vision of how to build this. And it's going to be clear. And then it doesn't matter about of course, it's very important about the user's interface, but I wanted to mention that it's more importantly that we focus more on the functionality part. It's going to be easier for people to use, and it's going to eventually save us a lot of time, if it makes sense.
Mm, yeah.
Okay, and then we will find those kind of templates and we take a reference. So here is the thing. I kind of find some website that we can just take as a reference. Let's see what it is. So it's going to be maybe over here. So this is actually a good example that shows the maps and then around you. So this is going to be import the map of once you log in, and it's going to be which day that you want to take care of the dogs, and then where to the freelancers around you. It's more like a Uber's the algorithm. And then which day do you want to start, and then which day do you want to take it back your dog. So it's going to be more focusing to have the selection of your dog's age and then the size and then what kind of freelancers that you're looking for. And those are all the information and their hourly rates. So it's very clear. So basically, we probably can take this as a reference and we build like a similar website. Does that sound a good idea?
Yeah, this does sound a good idea, because creating everything from scratch is not always a great idea. So we have to
Mhm.
take reference at some point. So
Right. So there's nothing we're going to be taking from the scratch. So we have the scrum, the frame, so the framework. So taking care of other uh, website where they already been built and their success is going to be also a good way, a good method for us in order to be success. Okay, and then the next thing we wanted to talk about engaging the audience. The audience is make a eye contact with your audience, create a sense of intimacy and the involvement. So this is more likely about your uh, clients and how your clients, when you want to communicate with your clients. Um, Maybe sometimes you're gonna have a tricky clients. They're gonna give you some like impossible jobs for you to finish, establish. And later on in at this point that you need to have a good communication. And you would say, this is gonna be tough and then it's gonna be difficult. And similarly to your teams as well. Rudra, you wanted to introduce about this part?
yeah, sure. So like I will not go by point. I will just take the whole.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
how I would say the audience part. So this is more tricky for some people and also not tricky for other people. So it is more like a confidence part. So once you have the confidence of speaking with the audience and then doing like a, how we say, we have been doing a lot of times, there will be a storytelling in our school. So
Hmm.
that helps bring the confidence in the person's personality. So that
Hmm.
is where, and then the person will do like a lot of things like preparation and engagement, how will speak, and all the speech methods and all those things. That is like a common thing. And also
Hmm.
one more very important thing is like making eye contact to create
Hmm.
connection. So instead of
Hmm.
like right now I'm just doing a meeting with only one person, so I'm looking at you. But if I have like a larger audience, then I will not be looking only at one person. I will be looking at each and every person available at the time, and I can make the person into like that way. I
Hmm.
will not do like a like only single way, and I only single that shows like I'm not confident enough. And then
Hmm.
I would say that like sharing relatable stories, that some people have the experience, previous experience of the similar projects or development part, so they might have like a relatable stories they can to make it like more memorable for everyone. And
Hmm.
then encouraging the audience like how they can also ask the feedback questions, or they can also say whether they would like to share anything, or like they would like to debate for any other part which they would like to have. So that is how I would say the confidence and audience engagement would be working.
Hmm. Also here it's also suggests like we should actually use polls or surveys to get some like audience and your clients opinions, also your teams, and we can just create like a form to collect their information. It's also a good idea. Um, Now let's see. The responsibility in agile teams is going to be empowering by the team. So shared ownership of the task and then clear roles to promote accountability. And then self-organizing teams. So the teams, most of the times, that they're just very organized. And then, so currently the job market is kind of tough. So most of the teams are just to recruit for the experience. More than 8 or 10 years, it's going to be tough. But however, not necessarily that the longer years of experience that you work, the organization of your teams is going to be better. So it's still like what you said, depends on people's personality. So the interview is very important, and more experienced PM is going to have the more experienced engineers. Um, yeah, and then strategy and efforts. When you develop the software development, you need to have the best accommodate strategy, and also what kind of the models that you're using. But also you wanted to optimize your efforts because of the iron triangle we talked about last section. Um, yeah, the art of listening we talked about. Okay, yeah, that's it.